two things I love are tomato sauce and eggs. And add some chickpeas and I am a happy girl. That's what I'm doing in this version of shakshuka, a North African dish of poached eggs cooked in a spicy tomato red bell pepper sauce. All right, so first I need to start with an onion. I'm gonna finely chop this onion. First I'm gonna cut it in half. Just peel back the paper. So this is a dish you can have for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is very, very versatile. It's very homey, comforting, and it's one pan. So you can't go wrong with one pan. So I'm finally chopping this onion, making horizontal cuts of the onion and then making the vertical cuts. And now I'm just gonna run my knife through each half. And I'm gonna add it to this bowl. So there are many different versions of this dish, but as I said, today we're doing one that has chickpeas in it, and we're gonna be using the canned chickpeas, so the chickpeas are fully cooked at this point. It's a super quick cooking meal, but you would never know it was quick cooking if you tasted it. So I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to the onions because it's gonna be going into the pan all at once. You need a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. All right. I mentioned bell peppers. So today we're going to be using some jarred roasted red bell peppers, which I drained and then rinsed and patted dry. And you can make these quite easily on a gas burner. You just leave them on the grates until they get nice and charred all over. You can put them in a bowl, cover them, let them steam, and you can just peel the skins right off. You'll start with 1 cup of the jarred peppers. So what you can do is just run your knife, again, just like we did with the onions, just through, and these are nice and tender, so they cut very, very easily. So I'm gonna add these directly into here with the onions. All right, now the chickpeas. I've got one 15-ounce can of chickpeas, which I went ahead and I drained them and rinsed them really well. And I've got some smoked paprika and I have some cumin. This is gonna help give it that backbone of that smoky flavor and that beautiful red color from the smoked paprika. So you need 1.5 teaspoons of the smoked paprika and 1 teaspoon of the cumin. Let's head over to the stove. So I have a 12-inch nonstick skillet and I'm gonna heat up 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil over medium-high heat until shimmering. So I'm gonna let this cook for about 4 minutes until the vegetables are softened. And as you can see, the bell peppers are still in a really good size. And that's because it's one of the stars of the show along with the chickpeas. You wanna know that they're in this dish. So the onion is definitely softened here and it's smelling really good. I'm gonna add our chickpeas and the 2 spices, the smoked paprika and the cumin. So I'm gonna cook this for about 1 minute until fragrant. Okay, tomatoes. It's time to add the tomatoes to the skillet. We've got 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Give that a stir. All right, so you want to bring it to a simmer, and we are already there. So now I'm going to reduce the heat down to medium-low, and then I'm going to cover the skillet with this lid and cook until the flavors meld, which will take about 5 minutes. 5 minutes are up, and now we are at the super fun part of our shakshuka. We're going to drop 8 eggs into the skillet. And we're not gonna just drop them. I'm gonna show you a little technique here. First, I'm just gonna give it a little stir. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. Okay, so now the skillet is off heat. That's important because we're gonna be doing some work over the skillet. It's time to add the eggs in. And I'm gonna make 8 indentations for the eggs to hang out in. And you want the indentations to be about 1.5 inches across. Okay. So I am adding the eggs directly to the skillet, but you can also do this by cracking them first into a bowl or into a glass or a mug, and then add them individually. But I'm just tapping them on a flat surface, one in the middle. All right, so now I want to go and get a little bit of that sauce and just spoon it over the edges of the egg whites. So you want to put the tomato sauce over so the egg whites are partially covered, but leave the yolks exposed. Okay, now I'm going to return the skillet to a simmer over medium-high heat, and it's pretty close. And then I'm going to put the lid on the skillet, reduce the heat to medium-low, and cook until the egg whites are fully set, which should take about 8 minutes. And go ahead and rotate the skillet throughout the 8 minutes. Okay, the moment has arrived. Let's see. Oh man. We're gonna gild the lily a little bit. We're gonna add some goat cheese. And you wanna just crumble it right on top. And I'm also gonna use some parsley leaves too. And a little more extra virgin olive oil. Just drizzle it right on top. And as you can see, the egg whites are fully set, but the yolks just have a slight little jiggle in the middle. Well, I'm going in, and I have some crusty bread, but you could serve this with rice, polenta. Chickpeas held up so well. They didn't blow out, which sometimes can happen. Now let's see if we nailed the yolk here. Oh yeah. The egg is jammy. This sauce is bright. It's full of red bell pepper flavor. The parsley helps just kind of make everything sing just by putting it on top after. And the goat cheese goes so well with this tomato sauce. This recipe is amazing because of the combination of the flavors and because it uses the ingredients that I always have on hand in my pantry.